Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Our Hannah Zwartz is back, Kapiti Coast District Council's Green Gardener, and she's talking about nasty weeds today. Hi, Hannah.
Kia ora, Tanya.
So you've got a workshop about weeds coming up.
That's next Monday's workshop at the Community Centre in Paraparaumu, the garden there. And it's a bit of a value judgment, isn't it, that these weeds are nasty because they're really just plants, but they are the bane of gardeners. They make it quite difficult to garden if you've got things that are constantly invading, taking over your plants that you're trying to grow.
Well, they're fighting for all the goodness too.
Yeah, and the light. Yeah, exactly. So the type of weeds that we're talking about are those real persistent perennial weeds like convolvulus, tradescantia, that's wandering willy, kikuyu grass, oxalis, that have quite a strong root system, and there's not enough to just go around pulling off the tops, basically. No. So we're looking at different ways to deal with them, but the key is basically to separate them out when you're weeding. So as you're building up a big heap of stuff, as you work your way around the garden, you don't want them mixed in with all the stuff you're going to put on the compost heap, because then you just end up with a compost heap full of weeds, which is kind of unusable. It's about keeping a separate bucket or bag as you go around, putting the nasty stuff into there, and then we'll find out there's different ways of dealing with it depending on how much you have, how big your garden is. It could be anything from a black plastic bag to a barrel or rubbish bin where they just sit and sort of cook and rot down, separate from your compost heap. Or if you've got a huge section or if you've got a huge area, there are ways of dealing with that. For instance, just laying plastic or other material on top over the winter and killing them off through
suffocation.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you've got time, then that's a good way to deal with a really big patch of weeds.
Yeah, I was reading your notes just before you came in, and I thought, wow, I've never really thought of that. What not to do? Dump them by the side of the road as they get into waterways, because you think, oh, it's sort of green waste, it's not causing anyone harm like you're throwing takeaway wrappers out the window. But then you're exactly right. What if they start growing in the middle of a pipe somewhere?
Yeah, it's really sad when you go to the bush and you see something that you can tell has just come from someone's garden, and there's nowhere you can just throw them away and they're not going to be a problem, really. Yeah. That just makes it a problem for someone else. So it's good if you can deal with them on your property and kill them properly.
Weeds be gone. All right, so that workshop anyone can attend, can't they?
Yes, it's a free workshop, Monday morning, 10 till 12 at the Community Centre in Ngāhina Street, Paraparaumu.
There we go. Free. We like free stuff here at
And morning
Beach.
tea thrown in.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Free morning tea.
Even better.
You definitely have to go, and you get to meet Hannah Zwartz too. Well, you've been so amazing. We're going to give you Thursday off, and I'll catch you again on Friday. Thanks, Hannah.
Kia ora.
106.3 Beach FM.